Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to a stream of Sherlock Holmes, The Silver Earring, a game I got on Steam from SpottyRaccoon. Thanks a lot. I had quite some problems to setting it up. I had to disable two screens and have to use third-party software to run it in windowed mode and whatever. But it's quite difficult to stream. It cost me a lot of time to find this out. But let's start. I have not yet played this. I don't know what it is about, but it looks to be a game of one of the games from Sherlock Holmes series, where there are. It's not the first and not the last either, so it's somewhere in the middle. Who knows?
Dear Mr. Holmes, please let me thank you one more time for your help in solving the case of the Turkish medallion. I'm sure that if the story could go public, the whole country would be as grateful as I am to you. As you may have surmised, I have a very urgent and confidential matter which requires your immediate assistance. You probably are aware that we are going to celebrate the birthday of a very important person, a member of the government. I can't mention their name in this letter for obvious reasons. The most famous and accomplished artists were selected and invited to perform. We are confident about their reputations. However, we have concerns about one performer in particular, a young Italian diva, Gallia, as there are certain rumours circulating about her. She has also provoked great acclaim in every European capital where she has appeared. We want to include her in this gala event, but have reservations about her reputation. She is, as fortune would have it, in London for another engagement. Sir Bromsby has invited her to perform during a reception to commemorate the return of his daughter to England. Due to reasons of politics and security, I can't attend the reception myself. Apart from yourself, I do not know anyone else I would be able to complete a mission of such importance. Together with this letter, I am sending two invitations, as I assumed your eminent colleague, Dr. Watson, would be accompanying you. A cab will arrive at 221B Baker Street at 8 p.m. to take you to Sherringford Hall. Even though I know that the prospect of attending a private concert given by perhaps the best voice in Europe is very attractive for a music lover like yourself, please allow nothing to distract you from this important mission. Yours sincerely, Lord Cavendish Smith.
How can we refuse a mission of such importance? Appearances to the contrary, I believe that the future of the nation can depend on our presence. Are you with me?
If the future of the nation depends upon our presence, Holmes, then you can count on me.
I didn't quite
Please come right in. According to the request of Lord Cavendish Smith, during the dinner you'll be seated together.
What do you know about Sir Bromsby, Holmes?
I have never met the man, and I do not follow what is written in the newspapers. However, I can tell you that Sir Bromsby is a man of approximately 50 years old, tall in stature. He is impulsive and may be prone to violent outbursts. He is of low birth, has few intimate friends, and does not like women. He must be a very aggressive businessman who would not hesitate to go beyond the law if it served his purposes. I'd like to add that today he is going to make a very important declaration concerning his business. And you, Watson, what have you heard about him?
Well, I doubt that I would be able to give as detailed a description as you have just recited. Holmes, how can you say you do not know the man and give such an account?
Watson, you know my methods. Look at the stage and the stand near the fireplace. It is obvious that they are prepared for a very tall man. I see the hostess and servants anxiously glancing in the direction of a door from which their employer must enter. Their expressions go beyond nerves and suggest fear. Only a violent and unpredictable man can cause such anguish. Now look at the guests. The men present at this party are mainly composed of military officers and rich entrepreneurs. All of them are in their 50s and are clearly business associates, so I decided that he is of their age. Furthermore, to have risen as rapidly as he has in this society, Sir Bromsby would have to be a very ruthless and intelligent businessman. The women present reveal much. Beautiful women and young girls, all neatly but rather cheaply dressed. Watson, look more carefully. There are no chaperones. No ladies would appear in public without suitable escort, I assure you. They stare at the youngest gentleman to find a convenient cavalier and cluck like chickens at the smallest idiocy. In short, a man who would invite only business associates and women of the lower classes to the birthday party of his only child must have few friends, rather poor taste in women, and little regard for his daughter. Another item of note, but not the least, observe that group of men speaking very quickly. It's a group of reporters armed with their notebooks gathered together now that the time of the address is coming. These are not the society reporters for the Times sent to cover a gala birthday party. These are the regular reporters who had come only to gain news about the future of the Bromsby Empire. I will conclude by saying that no man, except a lunatic, would accept such an arrangement of tables and furniture. Look quickly, Watson. I hear applause. Sir Bromsby is coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you all for attending this special reception. In fact, this moment is a turning point for many people.
Watson, quick! Tell Miss Lambert not to allow anyone to leave and to send a man for the police immediately.
A murder. Okay, I need to set some options. I need the music even quieter, and this even quieter as well. Yeah, it could be that the whole effect you are hearing, Mimruni, comes from feedback because the game sound is set too loud and it feedbacks to my microphone. I apologize for that. So, sadly, in the introductory letter, I did not get why they were invited in the first place. Some rich lord has invited some rich people. One of them is a woman which is here to marry somebody. I'm not too attentive to this game yet, and I don't know how you really control it. So, hovering over these, you can see the changing icons. So, so this is us, isn't it? Where is Watson? This is the dead man. Let's talk to this guy.
Excuse me, if I may. I am Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I have...
What do you wish to know?
It's strange that...
I must ask, who are you?
I have this slow reading.
I'm the doctor from the village near the hall.
Is he still breathing?
Was that Sir Bromsby?
He died instantly.
Where is the bullet?
Where is the bullet?
It's still in the body. I must obtain police authorization to extract it.
Really?
Thanks, Doctor.
Yeah, I think I will.
Never mind.
I'll disable the slow reading here. Options, slow reading. It waits until I click to proceed. Is this a...
Good day. My name is Sherlock Holmes. Would you mind if I asked several questions?
several...
If it helps you.
What precisely was your relationship with the victim?
We were partners with the old scoundrel. I'm sorry, Sir Bromsby. He personally invited me. He gave me every assurance there would be plenty of fresh meat, if you take my meaning. Well, there was, but some of it was quite cold.
I don't understand what's with the view. It is not my fault that they have cut off eyes and tops of their heads. It's how the game is. It's strange. I assure you there is no such cut done on my streaming software. It's how the game presents this. This is rather disappointing.
Were you an associate of the victim?
Yes, he seems so much bigger when he's lying down rather than standing.
Did you notice anything peculiar at the time of the shooting?
I jumped up, and then I looked in the direction of the shot. There, I saw that little flirt, Miss Bromsby. She seemed to be placing something in her handbag amid a cloud of smoke. Then she rushed to the stage. I must say, her sudden inheritance should be a fine present for her birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
It is nothing, dear fellow.
So who
What,
is...
more questions?
Yeah, who is this guy?
What precisely was your relationship with the victim?
We were partners with the old scoundrel. I'm sorry, Sir Bromsby. He personally invited me. He gave me every assurance there would be plenty of fresh meat, if you take my meaning. Well, there was, but some of it was quite cold.
Okay.
Well,
It is...
Yeah, okay. What is this? Is this speech? Do we have an inventory? Oh, we have. We have a magnifying glass, tape measure, test tube.
the first handwriting is small and elegant. The second is hurried and forceful.
Where is the note? I thought he would read it. Let's take a look around. Is it this clock ticking here? Oh, there is something on the ground here. It's a handbag.
A small caliber pistol. A Wright model.
And tickets of train and bone from Geneva to London.
Train and ship tickets from Geneva to London.
Passport of Lavinia Bromsby. How do you examine things?
There is a greasy substance on the door handle. Seems to be a sauce?
Or some sauce. How do you examine that? Greasy substance.
I need something.
It just makes.
Excuse me, but would you be Mary?
What do you want, mister?
How can he know if she's married or not? Does he know the name of every servant here?
What's happened here, on this carpet?
An idiot from Hertford's turned over the fowl. Sir Bromsby passed by without even taking notice. It did seem his mind was elsewhere these days. Of course, it was probably because of Miss Lavinia's homecoming.
What do you think of your employer?
He could be the very devil at times, but not the worst. If you had just known my father. And then the master was so generous with our wages.
What's happened here, on this
I need
carpet?
to.
An idiot from Hertford's turned over the fowl. Sir Bromsby passed by without even taking notice. It did seem his mind was elsewhere these days. Of course, it was probably because of Miss Lavinia's homecoming.
So what is a foul? What he turned over?
Did you hear the shot?
Of course, I heard everything. But I didn't stop my work. Imagine that someone else had been killed and not my master. Oh, he would have given me a good talking to.
Did you observe anyone pass this way after the shot was fired?
No one's come this way, not from the moment I returned after emptying my bucket, and the whole while I've been cleaning. I only saw Scott, who was in the ballroom. He half opened the door to tell me the news.
Thank you, Mary.
Not to worry, sir.
So can we examine things?
This is a woman's handwriting. What do all these annotations mean?
Why did this thing disappear when I have read it? The same happened to the notes of Sir Bromsby. This seems like a bug to me, isn't it? Why do items disappear from my inventory when I read them?
You do not seem the least bit alarmed.
In India, I became quite familiar with the sound of gunshots. Therefore, their sudden occurrence does not alarm me as they would a woman or certain officers in attendance.
Could you explain your presence at this reception?
Bromsby sent me 2 invitations for myself and the wife. My wife has fainted due to the shock of these events. I do hope her condition will last a good while longer, so that I may toss off several glasses of this excellent sherry.
Sherry.
Why didn't you intervene?
It would have been of no use. Whoever he is, the man who did this is either a perfect shot or extremely lucky, because old Bromsby had no chance at all.
How does he know that it was a man? Why doesn't he suspect the woman who put something in the handbag amid of the gunshot smoke?
Very well. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You say the voice acting in this game is not the strongest, but it's not bad either. I don't like the voice of Sherlock Holmes. It seems like he can't really.
That shot was dreadful, wasn't it?
It's neither the first nor probably the last I shall hear in my life. Tell me, young man, are you a barman or not? Because I'm dying from thirst.
Did you have a personal relationship with Sir Bromsby?
What impertinence! I will answer questions of this nature only if they issue from my superiors or the authorities, and you, sir, are neither of those.
Well, I must leave you now.
All right, young man.
Excuse me, could you answer some questions?
You're quite welcome.
What sort of man was Sir Bromsby? I mean, as an employer.
Troublesome and bad-tempered, but he paid well.
Where were you at the moment this tragedy occurred?
Like all the servants, I was in the ballroom. 'Twas the special orders of the old crab. In my opinion, it was done in particular to have more people there to applaud him. Cunning old bird, wasn't he?
Are you personally at the service of the Bromsby family?
Yes, there are 5 of us who serve in the Sherringford Hall. There are Mary and Sue, the maids, Carl, our chef, Lamb, Sir Bromsby's coachman, and myself. All the rest were brought in just for the reception.
And where are the rest of the staff?
Mary is cleaning downstairs. Sue went to comfort some little goose who had been crying bitterly. It's rather odd because it seemed to me she started crying before Sir Bromsby was shot.
And the coachman?
Lamb is at the main gate. Miss Lambert gave him specific instructions to throw out any reporters and ensure they do not re-enter the hall. However, it would not be good if he finds you've been asking questions here. Tell me, will my name appear in the newspaper?
Thank you for your help.
My pleasure, sir.
It is not the time to join, Watson. I have not examined everything. The handle is twisted down. It smells of gunpowder. Handsome armor.
Examine the armor, please.
Handsome armor. Handsome
Examine it
armor.
more thoroughly. Why would the handle be twisted down?
There is a greasy substance on the door handle. Seems to be a sauce.
Ah, a sauce. It means, of course, sauce from a dish. B for Bromsby.
I need something.
Cigar. Examine the cigar. Oh, pipes! Pipe collection. I should smoke a pipe while playing this.
Curious, this flaky ash does not come from this cigar.
No? Does it come from one of these pipes? What's this here? Put the ash in the test tube. Whatever. Do something. Examine. There's another cigar here.
It's a pair of moustache scissors. Red greasy hair.
Red and greasy hair.
It's a pair of moustache scissors.
What's this book about? Ooh, look at this! So this is the room where he was shot. This is probably the collection of information we have gathered so far. There is the letter. Letter of Lord Cavendish Smith. How can we reread it? It's a nice notebook. With a pen inside here. We are at the Sherrington Hall. There's the guest list. What are these symbols? Don't forget the villager and the serpent. So the speech was supposed to be structured like this. Acknowledgements. If a notable person is present, do not forget to acknowledge them. You welcome your daughter. You then invite her to enter the ballroom. When she's on the stage, you make your speech for the journalists. Don't forget the villager and the serpent. Shooting at pigeons isn't mentioned in program. Miss Lambert added this at the last moment. Don't forget to mention this. Celebratory program in honor of the return of Miss Lavinia Bromsby away for 6 years at a Swiss boarding school and her 18th birthday. Addressed by Sir Bromsby, French dinner, Recital Overture by Philharmonic Orchestra of Uxbridge, interpretation of Faust opera extracts by famous diva Gallia, garden party with English treatment. I want to see the further pages of this letter. Hello, Gabor and Versatile. Yeah, so and these are some. So this is the. We've spoken to the doctor. We've spoken to Grant Sweetney. He was quite observant. Mary. Major Lockhart. Why didn't you intervene? Colonel Patterson didn't speak with us much. So we spoke to Colonel Patterson. How do you go away of this screen? Kitchen. The kitchen. Oh, look at this.
This is diabolically heavy.
Diabolically heavy. What's this underneath this thing? I actually wanted to examine the piece of cloth in the basket, but this is also good. What is this?
It is a poor copy of a uniform button. The cannon insignias are hand-drawn.
The soldier who didn't want to speak to us was missing a button in his uniform. On his uniform, I noticed. Oh, there is somebody.
Nothing of any interest here. Nothing of any interest here.
Oh, that's the flaky ash. Speak this cook.
May I help you?
Oh, look at his feet. They are showing up here.
Hello? Are you aware of what has just happened?
Yes, it seems that our master has got himself killed. Scott told me that much. On his daughter's birthday. And all these nice dishes. It took me so long to prepare them. What a disaster.
How would you describe Sir Bromsby?
Well, as an employer, he was not easily satisfied, always insisting on some Indian or French dish. That old fowlet put it into Sir Bromsby's head that this Frenchman prepare better meals than the English. He would have had my master eating frogs stuffed with snails if he could.
This who one?
A Frenchman.
Yes, a squint-eyed Frenchman. That must be done like this, and this must be placed like that. Well, he may well be a connoisseur of fine cuisine and service, but of everything else... Miss Lambert dared not even contradict him about the tablecloth's colour, though Bromsby hated white and insisted on blue to match the colour of the daughter's eyes. And look how he placed the tables in the ballroom. I have never seen tables arranged in such a manner.
The lid of your dustbin is quite heavy.
It makes some noise, doesn't it? At least we know when somebody closes it. I was in the cellar, and I heard the lid closing a little before that, what you said was the shot. I heard it again right after. But that surely must have been Mary, our maid.
You say it was Mary, the housemaid. How can you be sure?
The first time I saw her with my own eyes, when she came to empty the rubbish. She cautioned me not to fall asleep in the storeroom. She always has something amusing to say. The second time, I didn't see her. I only heard the lid close.
Okay.
I will let you get back to your work.
All right. Good night, sir.
Good night. Don't stare at me anymore.
This is diabolically heavy.
Where does it lead? Is this a dustbin you need to empty, or does the rubbish fall down to some junkyard? Wait a moment. Let's take a look at the what? Let's take a look at the soldier with the missing button.
Well, find me the barman if you want anything from me.
Isn't he missing a button here?
Well, I must leave you now.
All right, young man.
I thought maybe a dialogue line asking him about the missing button would appear when we have the button in our inventory. Oh. If you talk to this guy, he's got all his buttons together, I believe.
I am listening.
At least they seem regularly spaced.
Very well. Thank you.
My pleasure.
We haven't been to this door yet. Oh, look at this guy.
Let me introduce myself. I am Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, the infamous detective. We are heaven blessed by your presence. I am afraid I am still in shock.
You pretend to be in shock? You did it.
Tell us what you saw.
I was behind Sir Bromsby when it all happened. I am sorry, but as such I could not see anything of interest. But I am convinced that Miss Lavinia had nothing to do with it.
Tell us what you saw.
Again,
I
please.
was behind Sir Bromsby when it all happened. I am sorry, but as such I could not see anything of interest. But I am convinced that Miss Lavinia had nothing to do with it.
Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Oh, I forget myself. We haven't been properly introduced. I am Herman Grimble, advisor to the late Sir Melvyn Bromsby and minority shareholder of Bromsby Enterprises.
What sort of man was Sir Bromsby?
He was a man with strong character that at times seemed excessive. He was unyielding, but he was a good man.
We have found Sir Bromsby's speech. There's something quite puzzling about it.
Ah, you talk about the notes that I left for him. Sir Bromsby always improvised his speeches in public as well as in business. Nevertheless, it was still necessary to remind him about particular points. So I sometimes made notes for him on a sheet of paper. Hold on, he must have made that odd notation himself. It says something about a peasant and a snake. What could it mean?
It's a pub, certainly.
Did Sir Bromsby have any enemies?
Oh, there are always those who envy a man who is successful in business. But to say that Sir Bromsby had enemies? No, I cannot think of anyone who would desire his death.
According to many witnesses, Sir Bromsby seemed anxious.
Well, he really was a little worried these days, but it was most certainly due to the strains associated with the reception, ensuring a good time for his guests and the happiness of his daughter. They have not seen each other in 6 years. Perhaps he could not see her in the room.
So you knew Sir Bromsby well, then?
What a sad end for such a great man. We first met in India several years ago. That would have been before the birth of Miss Lavinia. We have been business associates and friends ever since that moment.
Have you any knowledge about the succession of his business interests?
I believe that Sir Bromsby had drawn up his will with his attorney and friend Horace Fowlett. When it is read, we will know more about the specifics. But I can assure you that nothing therein would threaten Bromsby Enterprises.
And where is this Mr. Fowlett?
He must have been here, because he would have most certainly been invited. Although he is hardly a person of high society. Where could he be, I wonder?
Thank you very much.
I am at your disposal.
Please, sir, I have nothing to tell you. Everyone stands ready to accuse me of this foul deed. I have done nothing. I have only seen my father die before my very eyes on day of my majority.
This young lady tells the truth. I can attest to her every move since she first appeared in the doorway. Beg your pardon for speaking so boldly, miss.
Where were you at the moment of the shooting?
I was near the bar speaking with Colonel Patterson. Everybody started applauding and turning towards the stage. I turned to look through the crowd.
Did you notice anything in particular?
When one of the doors opened, I did see a person hidden from the other's view. A beautiful young lady stood just at the threshold. I felt somewhat ashamed for staring at her so intensely, but her considerable charms captured my full attention until the dreadful shooting took place.
Are you sure it was Miss Bromsby?
Yes, Colonel Patterson was next to me and can confirm what I saw. It seems to me that no one else was near us at that precise moment.
What is your reason for being here?
I owe it to Colonel Patterson. We met each other several days ago at his club. He kindly persuaded me to accompany him.
Patterson is the one with missing button, isn't he? Maybe he will speak with us now.
Sir, now will you answer my questions?
I am listening to you.
Maybe the button is not really missing. Maybe it just looks like it. But each uniform has 4 buttons, and he's got also 4 buttons.
Where were you precisely when the tragedy occurred?
We had been standing at the bar until the shot rang out, and I personally remained at the bar after it.
All right, Gabor. Good luck at the race. See you next time. So he had the shot,
Where
or what?
were you precisely when the tragedy occurred?
We had been standing at the bar until the shot rang out, and I personally remained at the bar after it.
Did you happen to notice Miss Bromsby at that moment?
Impossible. My eyesight is so deucedly poor that I would not even notice if a fly fell into my whiskey.
Really?
Yes, damn shame. But I have a fine ear. I can offer much when the questions are about sounds. I can tell you that from all the applause, that old Bromsby had arrived and entered from my right. For the sound to have carried so well, the crowd must have been parted in that direction. I will add that if Lieutenant Harrington says that he saw a flea dancing with a fly in this place, you can take it on trust.
How long have you known Lieutenant Harrington?
We met at my officers' club several days ago. A brave boy, you can believe me. What could be better than to invite him to be my guest at this reception, where he could make many fair acquaintances?
Is there anything else you recall?
Well, hold on a moment. I do have a scoop for your tabloid. I can assure you that Bromsby was killed with a Wright revolver of small caliber.
Thank you for this information, sir.
Colonel to you.
Huh.
Were you at that precise spot at the moment of the murder?
Indeed, I was standing just there. I could easily see the door because there were so few people in front of me.
What did you do right after the shot was fired?
I left the room as did almost everyone. I must leave now and make my excuses to Miss Lavinia for my behaviour, don't you think?
Why are they saying the shot? It's the shot, isn't it?
Thank you for your help.
There's no need for
Not a
the.
problem.
So many footprints down here.
Handsome armor.
There should be some stairs here.
This room was rarely used. Everything else is in order.
French
A
salons.
textbook to study French.
What's this paper?
A calling card written in French.
Calling card. Louis-Philippe de la Moussardière, Imperial Head Waiter and Wine Waiter. It's called Sommelier. Emeritus Knight of Frankfurters of the centuries-old assembly. Pilou.
Very interesting. What a pleasant picture. And this lady is wearing a very nice earring.
Take a look. Take a look at the picture, please. I want to see it. There it is. To the potent, or what is it? To the I don't know what the third word is. To the great actress with all my encouragement, Veronica Davenport. Earring. But she has two different earrings, and one earring here and another hanging earring here. There's another door there, isn't there? How are you supposed to leave this room? Goodness, please, just go, leave the screen. Holmes, I dare you. Why is there no feet symbol? I think this game has become unplayable. Ah, here. Game designers. Hang them!
A textbook just...
Why won't you take a look at the clock? It may be important. Have you... Pony says, Heineck, have you ever considered playing any of the Clock Tower games? What are Clock Tower games? I believe we have examined everything there is to examine, and we should be ready to talk to Watson. I will save this game here. And we will continue in our next session. Thanks for watching. I'll be online back online in about a couple of minutes. I just get my pipe.